Remained here her entire career of 30 years until her retirement in May of 2021. She graduated from Williamson High School in 1987, received her bachelor's degree from Michigan State University in 1991, and earned her Master of Music degree from Western Michigan in 1999. She has also acquired additional postgraduate credits from Central Michigan University, Michigan State University, St. Francis University, and yes, the University of Michigan. During her tenure at Greenville, her band and orchestra students enjoyed decades of success at district and state music festivals. In addition to her work here, Susan is active as a judge and clinician for district and state level, solo ensemble, band, orchestra, and marching band festivals. Career honors include the 2021 John P. Vernuke Outstanding Educator Award, sponsored by the Grand Rapids Symphony, and the 2019 Greenville Public Schools School Bell Award. Susan was also named State Teacher of the Year for band in 2021 and for orchestra in 2012, making her one of only 2 teachers in Michigan ever to be recognized for teaching excellence in both areas. Susan and her husband Bob were honored to be Grand Marshals of the 2022 Danish Festival Grand Dance Parade. They are celebrating their 30th wedding anniversary next month. They have 2 amazing children, Isaac, who just turned 20, and Eileen, who will be 25 this summer. Susan now works full-time as an educational representative and clinician for Meyer Music. Please join me in welcoming our commencement speaker for 2023, Susan Gould.
I am so honored to be here with you tonight. Thank you for the invitation. It's very different being on this podium after 30 years of working the ceremony from that podium. You know, most people hear the music from Star Wars and think of Darth Vader, Luke, Hans, Chewie, and Leia, but I think of Greenville graduation ceremonies. This is a huge honor, and one that I've, for the last month, been feeling all of the feels for. You know, fear, dread, panic, and gratitude. So much gratitude. Thank you again for letting me be part of your special day, graduates. But I'm a professional musician, not a professional speaker. I embody the beautiful quote by Danish author Hans Christian Andersen, "Where words fail, music speaks." I would be much less nervous if I were standing here preparing to play something for you instead of saying something to you, but I was pretty sure y'all didn't want to hear a classical flute solo tonight, and I can't move like Lizzo, so lucky for everyone, that's out. You'll be getting my words instead. Yes, my words. I nearly caved one evening and was about to ask ChatGPT for a little help, but I figured if I took that route, the law firm of Essenberg, Gates, Lardy, and Associates would hunt me down within the hour. So why did I whine just a little bit about having too much time? Because we all work better when the pressure's on, right? A month really is way too long to plan for something like this. Leonard Bernstein, my favorite American composer and conductor, said, "To achieve great things, 2 things are needed: a plan and not quite enough time." Giving me a full 4 weeks to work this out? So much time to overthink. Nothing produces results quite like a looming deadline, right, seniors? I'm sure more than a few of you out there experienced this sensation the past few weeks. And don't confuse my message here. I don't advocate for the last minute approach. Final touches? Perfect. Starting from scratch at the 11th hour? Horrible idea. This is when mistakes happen. You can try to convince yourself otherwise, but we do not produce our personal best when we are rushed. It is so important to set standards and goals. We all need time to properly prepare our work. Examples: I would be a terrible musician if I didn't perform accurately, and I sure don't want my future heart surgeon or my next airline pilot to say, close enough. So for now, your work is done. Take a look around at your family and friends, teachers, administrators, school board members. Tonight is a night filled with the emotional range of a Tchaikovsky symphony: joy and relief, fear, some sadness, anticipation, exhilaration, satisfaction, and closure. Graduates, tonight is quite literally all about you. And although we are celebrating you and your legacy as the class of 2023, each and every one of you got here your own way. So I ask you this question: what will your biography include? The biography you heard a few minutes ago about my career was just that, mine. It didn't include my life as a daughter, or mother, or wife, or friend. It didn't include my interests like golfing and kayaking and eating. Those are things that make a life. Achieving that work-life balance is your next project. Each of you will write your own very personal and unique biography in the years to come, with the pretext having already been written here in Greenville. What will yours include? What do you hope for? What do you hope to avoid? And what is the impact you want to have? Impact, ooh, that's a heavy word. Impact can be noteworthy or subtle. It can be immediate and obvious, or it can take years before the results are felt. You're going to hear me say this a few times tonight. You have so much power. For inspiration, I'm going to give a quick look at the biographies of Yellow Jackets from years past. Did you know that this is the 150th anniversary of a Greenville graduation? Yeah. For full details, you can head over to the Flat River Historical Museum on Franklin Street, across from Roderick Park, and the new splash pad. They got all the info, all the artifacts, but I'll just give you a little taste. There were only 8 graduates in that first class. 6 boys, 2 girls. Of the 6 boys, 1 became postmaster here in town, 2 were teachers for a while, and of those 2, 1 also played in a local band, and the other moved west to become a rancher after his wife died too young. The other 3 guys all earned law degrees at the University of Michigan. Now hold on. So 3 of the 8 went to U of M. Math geeks, that's 37.5% of the class. And if that same percentage happened in your class of 254, 96 of you would be headed to Ann Arbor? Oh, sorry, not sorry, Miss Wolf. Math may produce absolute truths, but context matters. Michigan State was still an agricultural college at that time, didn't have a law program yet. CMU and Western, not even established. So I guess those boys didn't have a choice. But you 3 speakers, Isabella, Jackson, Jordan, you had options. Okay, of the 2 women who were part of that first class, one was named Mary Satterley. She had 3 kids, founded the first area library out of the Methodist Church here in town. Satterley Road by Walmart is named after her family. Satterley School is on that road, thus the name. And the 8th graduate, Mary Emily Fish, studied music at Oberlin College, which was actually on my short list. Yes, I did consider other schools other than MSU. After graduation, she came back to Greenville to teach and eventually became principal. Her career in Greenville spanned 50 years. And you all should have known this because there is a massive bronze plaque in the hallway outside the main office, and it's of her. If you stop to read it, this wouldn't be new information. Teachers do. I also learned through my research that the same line you're going to hear in just a few minutes, promise, about recommending you to the Board of Education for graduation after completing the prescribed course of study is the same line they said at graduation in 1873. Talk about tradition. Mr. Hallett, Ms. Paris, Mr. O'Brien, Radcliffe, the rest of the Social Studies Department, if I hadn't taught music, I would have loved to join you in the Social Studies wing because I just love history. But it was my destiny to teach kids through music with history lessons. 8 graduates from 150 years ago. I wonder what ripples and circles you will create. Your future is full of endless possibilities. And each of you will impact others. Remember that forever. Even the smallest things can and will have meaning. You have so much control over your life's trajectory. You have so much power. And if y'all haven't caught on yet, I am a fan of education. I crave it. I believe it with every fiber of my being in the 3 A's. Yes, I said the 3 A's, not the grammatically incorrect 3 R's. Academics, athletics, and arts in equal balance. the mind, the body, and the spirit. We may enjoy one kind of activity over another, totally fine. We may be better at one thing over another. Yep, we're all different. It doesn't mean that one thing is less important than the other. We need mental stimulation, we need to move our bodies, and we need to create. So please, please, please do not let high school graduation be the end of your education. Be a lifelong learner. Be curious. Thank you to my favorite Ted Lasso episode for that one. As B.B. King, the great blues guitarist, said, the beautiful thing about learning is that nobody can take it away from you. I say the beautiful thing about learning is the power it gives you. Learning builds confidence, learning gives you the power of choice. And if you don't know something, investigate. Ask Siri, Google it. Your generation has the advantage of carrying knowledge in the palm of your hand. So use it for good. And I will ask you that question one last time. What will your biography include? Each and every one of you will have different stories. Your biography will be as unique as your fingerprints. The commonalities will be basic, like the lines that form your now frozen fingerprints, but the patterns will be all yours. We will share one commonality forever, and that's this place, guys. It's Greenville. You know what else we have in common? I love your class song. Your song, Don't Forget About Me by Simple Minds. That song came out in the winter of 1985. Songwriters Keith Forsey and Steve Schiff were scoring music for the film The Breakfast Club. Yeah, they were inspired by the scene where an introvert and the school bully bond when no one else is watching. That's a great choice, guys. In 1985, that's my youth. That's Mrs. B's youth. We went to school together. Did you guys know that? I was a sophomore in high school when that came out. There's a beautiful lyric in that second stanza you should think about. Slow change may pull us apart. For sure, guys. I hope we can also share this core value in my last lesson to you tonight. And in case you wandered off for a bit, the first two lessons I snuck in were living a life that makes positive impacts and to never stop learning. The last and most important lesson is so simple. Your superintendent already alluded to it. Be kind to others. Like the scene from that beautiful 1985 movie we just talked about, where two people from two different social circles become friends. Showing kindness in a world that is always changing. Another favorite of mine, Taylor Swift, said, no matter what happens in life, be good to people. Being good to people is a wonderful legacy to leave behind. You have so much power. Make your legacy one of influence, lifelong learning, and kindness. And may the world be kind to you. May it be a long, happy, and healthy life. And I'm going to leave you with this. We're not going to have many more days like this. I borrowed this phrase from my friend and colleague Jeff Ayers, who borrowed it from his college band director, who probably stole it from another friend, and so on and so forth. I said that sentence every day in marching band, from the first day of band camp to the last day of our season. That's why you heard a few groans. Every day. When during the day was timed more for the effect intended. Sometimes I'd say it right at the start, like, good afternoon, band. We're not going to have many more days like this. Sometimes after some random incident that warranted a sigh, and we're not going to have many more days like this. It was particularly meaningful when pure Michigan rained down or pelted us with her glory, and we were cold and wet and miserable as a reminder, we're not going to have many more days like this. And as the season progressed and the band knew it was coming, they would kind of get quiet during rehearsals, wondering when they were going to be hit. It was a fabulous classroom management tool. And on the very last day of the season, I'd pull everyone in and we'd share a few words and often some tears and say, we're not going to have any more days like this. Graduates, we're not going to have any more days like this. It means you should cherish the joyful moments. Know that when you're stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, and yes, that's from Annie, our first musical in the auditorium from 1998, it will change. And sometimes it means things just come to a close and you move on. Thank you so much. Congratulations.